Hello, good morning, everyone. Hello, guys. Am I audible?
Yes, pretty clear.
Okay. So we'll wait a couple of more minutes and then we'll start the session.
ഇഷ്ടപ്പെടുകക്കുമായിരം ജാഗ്യം
Hello. Hi guys, am I audible to everyone? Hello.
Yes,
Yes,
you are
yes,
audible.
Yes.
yes. Hi. Hello. Let me introduce myself. My name is Vivek, and I will be the host for today's webinar. Okay, so let's just wait 5 to 10 minutes more and see if we have more attendees to join, and then we'll go ahead with the session.
Hello, Vivek, are you there?
Yes, sir. I'm there.
Okay.
We are just waiting for more attendees to join.
Okay, Vivek, no issues.
Okay, sir.
Wait for 5 to 10 minutes and then start the session. Okay.
Okay, no problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
Please share your PPT meanwhile.
All right, sir. All right. Hello. Yes. Hi. Am I audible again? Hello.
Yes, Vivek.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Hi. Hi. Okay. Hi. Let me introduce myself again. My name is Vivek. I will be the host for today's webinar. Okay, so I'll just start the session by introducing Synergetics briefly. So we are a corporate learning solutions provider, and we have been in this business for the past 30 years. We provide corporate trainings for Microsoft, AWS, Python solutions, whatever you can think of, and we help the corporates to stay in the latest technology and trends. So all the IT professionals present in this webinar, you can go ahead and introduce us to your L&D department or IT managers, whoever may be responsible, if you think the session is valuable for you. Okay, and today's speaker for the webinar is Sonu Sathyadas, and he is a highly experienced Microsoft certified trainer, and he is also the assistant manager of the technology department at Synergetics. So I will just pass on the mic to Sonu sir, and he will be taking the lead in the webinar ahead. Sonu sir, you can go ahead, please.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome, sir.
Okay, hi everyone. Um, as he introduced myself, Sonu Sathyadas, and I'm the Assistant Manager Technology with over 15 years of experience in training and delivery. So I'm a Microsoft certified trainer as well as AWS authorized instructor, delivering sessions for Microsoft as well as for AWS. So today's session is on developing custom Copilot with Azure AI Studio. In this sessions, we will be looking how we can create the custom AI assistant applications using the Microsoft AI Studio. If you see, this course is aligned to a Microsoft applied skill, that is AI 3016. And in this course, we will be primarily looking the Microsoft AI services, the AI ecosystem, that is the open AI services, prompt flow, the AI search service, the Open AI Studio, as well as the Azure AI Studio. So let's start with the introduction to AI Studio. Suppose if you want to build an AI solution using the Microsoft AI services, it may be your cognitive services, open AI services, or the search services, or maybe the machine learning services, whatever it is. You need a platform which can give you an end-to-end solution. So where you can bring your data set, deploy the models, means the base models, train the models, evaluate your models, as well as you can deploy that trained models or customized model. So the AI Studio is a platform that will give you an end-to-end solution for uh, uh, creating, deploying, testing, evaluating the models with the Azure AI compute environment. So this will help you to connect with the various Azure services, including the storage services, search services, the open AI and cognitive services, and also the Azure compute. With this AI Studio, because this is a web interface, where the user can log in and start building their own AI solutions. Yes, we know, as we know, Microsoft OpenAI is providing a set of base models, generative AI models like GPT-4, GPT 3.5, or GPT 4.0 real time with audio support. So all these models are available for consuming in from the end applications. The question is then why we have to go and create custom AI solutions or custom AI assistants. These custom AI assistants are called copilots. Maybe you must have used copilots in your systems or maybe in the browser. For example, if you see Microsoft Windows has come with a copilot that is a Microsoft Copilot. This is an AI assistant created for the Windows users, and it's a built-in feature or tool added into the Windows operating system. So what is the use of this AI assistant or this copilot? So this is a pre-created, pre-configured copilot or AI assistant that can help you in all the scenarios. Maybe you want to create some text content. Maybe you can ask this to create some kind of questions or blogs or maybe some articles, or you can ask the copilot to generate some images, or you can ask the copilot to classify the text. So you can ask the copilot to do some operations, and the copilot is programmed or it is customized to do some kind of operation. So now if you see, you can even interact with this copilot using the audio like this. So here you can click on this and you can see it opens the microphone and you can ask anything to this, or you can even interact it with the uh, uh, chat environment using the text. Okay. Or you can even upload the image and ask the copilot about this image. But it is the same similar copilot is now available in the browser also. As you can see, this is a browser based copilot. So this is also a customized AI assistant which is similar to your Microsoft Copilot, but this is integrated with your browser. Similarly, there are other copilots like copilots for Microsoft 365, Copilot for Power Platform, Copilot for Dynamics 365. So there are different types of copilots available. So what is Copilot? Copilot is an AI assistant. It's a term or it's a name given to the AI assistant. But these AI assistants are pre-created by Microsoft. That means they have customized the base models like a GPT-3, 3.5 or 4, and they have created a customized AI assistant. But sometimes it may not be suitable for us to use this copilots in our work environment. Maybe I am working or I am planning to uh, integrate an AI assistant that is Copilot into my e-commerce application. So why I'm integrating the Copilot or AI assistant into my e-commerce application is whenever the customer is asking about the products and services, the Copilot is responsible to answer those questions. Or if I have a hospital website which provide the informations about the hospitals, doctors, and the facilities provided by them. And I want to integrate a copilot or AI assistant. Maybe you can simply call it as a chatbot. So what is the benefit? You can open the chat assistant or AI assistant and ask, okay, what are the different treatment options available in the hospital? Or which of the doctors available in the oncology department? Okay. Or what is the, or in which of the cities you have the branches? Okay. So these kind of questions specific to the hospital need to be answered because the customer is asking some questions specific to that particular domain or that particular organization. Suppose if I have a hospital called X, so I am going to ask the copilot or I'm going to ask the AI assistant that what are the different treatment options available in the hospital X, or which doctor is available in this particular department. So the problem if you are using the pre-trained models is these pre-trained models are trained with the data available on internet, and they are some generic informations not specific to any organization or domain. So if you use this AI models into your applications, the answers which is generated by those AI models may not be accurate or relevant. Okay. That means if I'm asking what are the different treatment options available in this hospital, so the model will give you an answer, but that answer may not be relevant to that particular hospital. Okay. So the problem is if you use the pre-trained generative AI models inside your AI applications or inside your client applications, it may not be able to generate the accurate or reliable results. So we have to create our own custom copilots so that the custom copilots can answer the questions related to that particular domain or organization. For example, if I have trained a generative AI model with the data about the hospital. So now what the thing is, the model which I have created is capable to answer any questions related to that hospital. So that if I'm asking which doctor is available in this particular department, so it will be able to give you an answer. Okay, Dr. XYZ is available in this department. Okay. But the question is how I can create this custom copilots. What are the tools and services available for creating this copilot? So there the AI Studio comes into the picture. So AI Studio is a development environment where you can create your own AI assistants, either by using the code or by using the no code solutions. You can create your own AI assistants, and it also provide you the compute environment to run and test this AI assistants. You can even deploy this AI assistants as REST APIs so that you can consume them from your uh, client applications. So suppose if you are an AI developer who wants to work on the AI Studio, first you need to understand what is the structure or what are the different tools and services available in AI Studio. First of all, when you start creating an AI application using the AI Studio, you need to go and create a AI hub. So this hub is a resource that contains shared resources to multiple AI projects. So you can say it will act like a container which provides shareable resources to multiple projects. So within one hub, you will be able to create multiple projects. For example, one project is for a hospital. One project is for an e-commerce application. One project maybe for some other organization. So like this, you can create multiple AI projects under a single hub. So inside the hub, you can create some shareable resources. For example, you can create the search service, you can create the OpenAI service, or you can create the cognitive services, or you can create the compute environment. Okay, you can configure the security for the AI services. All you can create as a shared resource, and that shareable resources can be applied to each and every project which is created as part of the hub. So that means within one hub, you will be able to create multiple AI projects. And within this project, you can create your own AI assistants and you can evaluate and test them. You can deploy them. All you can do within that. So for that, first you need to go to the AI Studio. So let me introduce the AI Studio. So for that, you can go to the ai.azure.com. So here, this is the. So this ai.azure.com is the URL. So if you go to the ai.azure.com, so it will opens a UI environment or UI interface. So this is the Azure AI Studio, which is now called as AI Foundry. So AI Foundry is the new name which is given to the AI Studio. So I think just 2 weeks back, it is renamed to AI Foundry. Before that, it was AI Studio only. So even the Microsoft documentations are now updating with the new name. So because AI Studio was the previous name. So this AI Studio is a platform which is dedicated to build the AI solutions. So within this, you can go and create your hub, and within the hub, you can go and create your project. Maybe one or more projects you can create. So here you can see under this left window, you will see a management center where you will be see all hubs and projects. So here you can see this is one project and that is under this hub. So there is one hub created and you can see this project is part of this hub and this is the same hub, right? So this is a hub resource and this is a project resource. Suppose if I want to create a new project, then I can go and create a new project using this new project button. So let me show you how to create a new project inside the same hub. So for that, let me click and here you can see what is the project name. So you can give a name for your project. Maybe I can give as Marquis Travel uh, Assistant or maybe. Okay. So hub, I'm just using the existing hub, or you can go and create a new hub. So it's not necessary to use a new hub, but if you want, you can create a new hub. So when you create a new hub, it automatically creates some resources like a storage account or key vault, a open AI service or cognitive service, or you can even uh, uh, create the search service. So there are different resources you can use. Okay, so that.
Sorry, I have a question. Can I ask now, or do you want me to park it?
Yeah, you can ask the question after once I complete this particular section.
Okay.
So here what I'm doing is I'm just creating the project within the same hub. Let me create that. This creation may take a minute. Okay. You can see the project is now created. If you go to the management center and the hub and projects, now you can see there are two projects and both comes under the same hub. And this is the project that we have just now created. I can go inside this project. So inside this hub, you can see some of the resources that I have, like a open AI service, which I have already created as part of the hub. There is a blob storage. There is an AI search service. There are many things which you can connect. And also I have done some deployments of the generative AI models. So if you go this open AI service, if I go inside this, you will be able to see some models which are already deployed. So GPT 3.5 turbo model, GPT 4o mini model, and a embeddings model, that is text embeddings model, which is deployed. Okay. So these are some of the resources which are already created as part of the hub, and they are connected to the projects. Okay. So now if I have to go So if I have to go and create an AI assistant, I can connect with the external data sources and create a prompt flow for creating a custom AI assistant, that is a copilot. But I will show you that from the scratch. So this is the AI Studio platform. So, but before moving into the section, if you have any questions on this UI environment like AI Studio or hubs or projects, you can please ask the question.
Uh, Hi, this is Chetna. So I just wanted to know I have two questions actually.
Mhm.
One, you mentioned coding or non-coding, right? So can a product manager, now I'm a product manager and I don't code actually. So if I want to develop a custom model, like, custom generative AI model, can I, like a copilot, so can I develop that if I'm interested, or if I need that, can I go ahead and develop that? Will this facilitate? And the second thing is, for a generative copilot, like basically what you have done, the turbo and this thing. So we use the chat GPT or the available generally available Microsoft Pilot, or or even the chat GPT. So we customize that and create a copilot. Is that the understanding? Like, is that correct?
No. See, ChatGPT is a pre-created or specially trained GPT model, and it
Right.
is available as a website where you can go, like how the Copilot website is used, like a Bing Copilot. Sorry, not this. How the Bing Copilot is used. Similarly, so this is the web-based Copilot. So you can ask any question
Got
later
it.
to your okay. So your ChatGPT is also exactly same. So
Got it. Got it. So,
that is a
s-
tool that is already provided by the
correct. Yes.
what GPT means OpenAI.
Yes. So the idea here is to develop a similar copilot based on our client needs or the project
Yes,
requirements, right? So we
yes,
are customizing the like basically we are doing the exact same thing, but we are customizing it into our needs,
correct.
our
So the
needs and
even
requirements.
yes, even though these are also customized, but these are customized with some general data. Like if
Got
you
it. Got
go,
it.
suppose if you are coming from a company called X, so if I'm asking a question like, can you describe what are the services provided by the company X?
Got it. So we are
It cannot
developing a
answer.
AI chatbot, you're saying, like a AI
Yes,
chatbot which will, right?
exactly.
Can a product manager or a project manager, like a person who doesn't code, can they go ahead and develop this?
Uh, I say yes, but a logic, the coding logic, or because there are a lot of pre-created templates available. So if
Mm-hmm.
you have some knowledge about the customization, you may not need to do any kind of coding, because you can also see in the
Yeah,
next example.
bare minimum knowledge of coding is there. I mean,
Yeah, so
along
that
with
is
it.
just to understand, okay, how to configure things. What are the parameters to pass? Because you don't need
Right.
to go and write any code there. So that I
Okay.
will
Okay.
show you. That I will show you when I create the first prompt flow. So I can show you
Okay.
without writing a single line of code, I can customize my AI model. Okay,
Okay. Okay. So we basically go ahead and developing. The idea is to develop a customized AI model or a chatbot, right? So that's the.
correct, correct.
Okay.
So because
Thanks.
Copilot is just an AI assistant, which means a chatbot only.
Got it. Thank you. Thank you.
So I just introduced the AI
Hi,
Studio environment. Yes. Any
one query.
questions?
So far, very yes,
Mhm.
one query, small query. Like since this is the AI assisted thing, so cannot I write a prompt where say do this generate an AI agent doing this XYZ things functionality, and it automatically pick up the base models which is already proven instead of just dragging and dropping it. Is it possible?
No, see, what you say is using the prompts, we can develop the application. That is what you are assuming, right? So,
Right.
yeah, so understand there are some pre-created AI tools or services available for uh, such functionalities. One example is GitHub Copilot. Okay, so I can show you a simple example of GitHub Copilot. That is also a Copilot which is developed by Microsoft, and that is available as part of your ID. Suppose if you are a developer, okay, if you are a developer, you can go and use this Copilot, which is a GitHub Copilot, and that is specifically designed for coding purpose. But the problem is you can ask the Copilot to create an application. For example, create, maybe I can say slash workspace. So here I say create a new application that shows so and so. So whatever, what is your requirement? For example, very simple thing, I can create a uh, Angular web application to okay, that contains a chat window. Okay. The chat window helps the user to interact with the GPT or OpenAI models. So I'm just saying this. So I'm just giving a requirement like this. Maybe you can elaborate the prompt based on your requirement. You can see it is creating a project structure, and okay, and you can save this. Okay, when you create the workspace, it will ask you where you want to save this. Maybe I can say I'm saying in desktop and creating it. But the problem is this is not going to do all the tasks. This is simple code generation. But how the code is working, where to suppose if you want to customize some part of the code, because this is AI generated code, you cannot use as it is. You may have, or you may have to modify some part of the code. Okay, so then only it will fit into your requirement. So in that cases, you should have the coding knowledge. Okay, because no AI assistants can generate you a complete application as it is. Like, okay, if you ask the model, okay, can you create a AI assistant for my hospital domain? It cannot go and do
Okay.
that. Okay, so you what you need to do is you have to create a basic template of that project. Maybe you can say, okay, I want to create a prompt flow application, because prompt flow is typically used for creating AI assistant. But you have to specify what type of model it is going to use, what type of prompt it is going to use, what type of data source it is going to use. All you have to customize. What the AI assistant like a GitHub Copilot can do is just give you the complete project files. So you don't need to go and create the project files one by one. Like here, you can see it create a lot of files for me automatically. So this is the basic environment it can create. Look at that. I create a chat window also. But how this
Okay.
chat window is communicating, it is communicating with which service, all that I have to code. So that means it is just helping the developer by reducing the effort in writing the code. Maybe previously he takes 1 hour to write the code. Now he can do it in 10 minutes, because he will be generating 90% of the code by using this AI tool, and 10% he is customizing it. But for customizing, you
Okay.
should know, right?
Yeah, it creates the wireframe of the
Yes.
application.
Yes,
Uh,
this is creating a boilerplate code. As a maybe a template it's create, but you have to
right.
customize.
Okay.
This is not going to be an end-to-end solution.
Right. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Any other questions? Okay. Okay. I hope there is no other questions. So let's move to the next. See, as I have mentioned, suppose if you are planning to create an AI assistant for your application or your domain or your organization, the AI model which you are going to use should have a knowledge about your domain, right? For example, if I'm taking a pre-trained model like a GPT-4 or GPT 3.5, these are pre-trained with the internet data which is available. Okay. So whenever you ask some general questions, maybe when the last World Cup happened, or who won the presidential election in US in 2005, or that kind of questions, which are general informations which is available on internet, can be answered by that model. But if you ask some specific questions related to a particular domain, related to a particular organization, it cannot answer. For example, my company name is Synergetics. If I'm asking who is the managing director of Synergetics, it cannot answer. If I'm going to ask who is leading the AI services in Synergetics, it cannot answer. Or which is the last training delivered by Synergetics, it cannot answer. Because these informations are specific to Synergetics company. Okay, and AI, no AI model is aware about Synergetics internal information. Maybe if you ask, can you tell me about Synergetics company? From internet, it will find some information and tell you, okay, Synergetics is a training company giving training from last 30 years. That's the information it knows, because that's available in internet. But if you ask some internal informations like who is leading which technology, what is the payroll system, what kind of services and offerings they are providing, and so on, so it cannot answer. Then how we can create such an AI assistant which can answer those questions? For that, we need to customize the AI model. So there are two ways to customize the AI models. One is the RAG approach. RAG means retrieval augmented generation, and the second one is the fine tuning. So retrieval augmented generation means you will be uh, providing some context informations to the model, so that the model is generating the answers based on the given data. Like, for your understanding, I can tell you, it's just like a open book exam. It's just like an open book exam, which means you have some basic knowledge. Okay, you have some general knowledge, and whenever a question comes, you will be opening a textbook, referring a particular page. Okay, suppose if I'm asking, okay, explain the Newton's third law. So you don't know Newton's third law because you don't remember. So what you do, sorry, you open the physics textbook, go to the index, and inside the index, it is mentioned, okay, Newton's third law is mentioned in the page number 74. Then it goes to the page number 74, get that paragraph which is described about Newton's third law, and then write in your own statement. So the paragraph may be a 10 lines paragraph, but you have to explain that in maybe 2 lines or 3 lines. So what you do, you learn that one paragraph or you read that one paragraph and then interpret in your own way and you write the answer. That is what a RAG approach, because you are not keeping anything in your memory. Instead of that, you just go and refer a document and then understand what is inside the document and then interpret in your own way and writing it, which means there is no updation happens in your brain, your memory. That is the RAG approach. But if you are using the fine-tuning approach, it's like you are studying the complete text on the for the exam, which means it's a closed books exam. Which means if any questions comes, you have to answer it from your memory. So for that, you have to train or you have to learn everything and keep all the informations in your memory. And whenever the question comes, you will be answering from your memory. Okay, so that is the fine tuning, which means I am providing the custom informations or the custom data, but either you will use it as a reference or you will learn it first and then apply. So that is the difference. So fine tuning means you will first remember or learn everything and keep all the informations in your memory. And whenever somebody asks, you will be answering from your memory, which means you are not referring any external resources. But RAG approach means you will be referring the external resources like a textbooks. You open the textbooks, read the paragraph, and then answer it. Okay. So in considering the same example, the RAG approach in AI models does the same, which means it will connect to an external database like a AI search, MongoDB, or some other service where I have all the information stored. Okay, for example, just a minute. I need to start an application. Okay, so consider that I have some documents here. Maybe this is my PDF document. Okay, and what I want to do is all my organization's data is inside this PDF. And whenever I ask a question to the AI model, so this is my AI model. And the user is going to ask a question. This is the user app. Whenever the user is asking some questions to it, what it is supposed to do, this AI model is supposed to go to the PDF document and then refer, okay, what is mentioned inside it. So maybe my question is about, can you tell me the learning services provided by Synergetics. So what are the learning services provided by Synergetics is inside the PDF document. So what I'm expecting is the model needs to give an answer to my question. But unfortunately, the model don't know anything about Synergetics and the services they offer. But what I am expecting is the model has to go to this document, read the document content, identify what they are talking about, the learning services provided by Synergetics, and then give an answer. But unfortunately, the models cannot go and read the PDF documents directly. So what we have to do for that, first, we have to convert this PDF data into vector format, which means we have to convert this PDF data into some numeric data format, which is called a embeddings, vector embeddings. And there will be a database or search service which can store these numeric information or this converted numerics data. So that means this search service is actually going to store the vector data. Vector data is a numeric format of that data. So whenever the user asks a question, what it will do, there will be a framework. So this may be your prompt flow application, or maybe a LangChain application. So what this application is doing, it is receiving the questions from this user. When the user asks a question to this application, usually what it does, it will use the AI model to generate the answer and give the response to the user. But now what it will do, it will go and do a search inside this database. So here is a search. It's called a similarity search. So it will go and search for the matching information about the user's question. For example, if I'm asking about, okay, what are the different learning services provided by Synergetics? So this prompt flow or LangChain application will go and make a search request to the database with my question. So my question is, what are the learning services provided by Synergetics? So it will go to this database and find the matching answers, because this PDF already contains those information which is converted into numeric format and stored here. So when I do a similarity search, it returns the matching informations, matching answers to it. These are the matching documents. Now what this prompt flow is going to do, it will give this matching documents to this AI model along with my question. So my query plus the matching documents are given to this model, and this model is going to generate a response, and that response is sent back to the user application. Okay, so that means here LangChain or prompt flow is acting as a framework for doing the complete task. What it is doing, it will receive the request. Sorry. It will receive the request from the user application, then performs a database search and find the matching documents, and those matching documents and my query is sent to the AI model. So the AI model is going to generate the answers based on this matching documents. It does not use its pre-trained knowledge. Instead of that, it uses this matching document. So it analyzes the matching documents and generate the answers based on this matching documents and give a response to us. So now how I can use this in our AI Studio. So very simple example I can show you. For example, I assume that I have some PDF documents. So these are some PDF documents related to a travel agency. Okay, so travel agency name is Margis Travel. Okay, so these PDF documents contains the services offered by Margis Travel. Let me show you that example. Okay, so this is the PDF documents. So this is the Margis Travel company information, which says, okay, Margis Travel is a travel agency and they are providing these services and they are providing services in these cities. Okay, and also they have some other documents which provides information about the hotels and accommodations provided in each city. So this is an information about the Dubai city, and these are the hotels which Margis provides accommodation in Dubai. Similarly, they also have accommodation in London. So this is some information about London. Plus, these are the 2 or 3 hotels provided by Margis Travels. Means they are providing accommodation in these hotels. Suppose if you are planning to travel to London through Margis Travel, so they will be providing accommodation in these hotels. Similarly, there are many other cities which I am not showing here. Okay, I'm not opening all the documents. So there, Las Vegas, New York, San Francisco, there are different cities documents. So these are the PDF documents I have. Now, what I want is I have to convert this PDF data into vector format and store inside a database. So here, Azure is providing a service called AI search service, which can create the vector index. AI search service, which can store the vector data. So vector index can be created. So the vector index name, I can say Margis index. So, in database also we have index for search operations, right? So here also what I'm going to do, this PDF documents, I'm going to convert into vector data and store inside the AI search service. So now the question, where these PDF documents are stored. So my PDF documents I can store into a storage account. So this is inside my Azure storage account. Okay. Now, if my index is ready, so this is my search index, my data is now available in the vector format. So now what I can do using this AI Studio platform. So this is the AI Studio environment. Okay. What I can do, I can make a query. Okay, there is a testing UI interface provided, that is Chat Playground. Okay, testing, that is for only for testing purpose. So there is a Chat Playground. Okay. So using this Chat Playground is equivalent to the user application because it is for simple. So it is just for a sample UI interface. So suppose when I make a query, okay, when I make a query to this AI Studio's Chat Playground, it will use this AI model to generate the answers, but the answers will be generated based on the data provided by this AI search service. So here it performs a similarity search. So this is the similarity search, and this is returning the matching documents. And these matching documents will be send it to the AI model, and the AI model generate the response back, and that response is sent to the user application. Okay, so let me show you how this can be done in the AI Studio. Very simple. You don't need to write any single line of code for doing this. So for that, there are a couple of services required. First of all, you need a storage account and you need a AI search service. And that will be created automatically when you create a hub. So when you create the hub, it will be created as a service. Suppose if I have to do that, there is an option. Can you see the playground? This is the, let me go to the other project. This is the Margie's Travel Assistant project. Okay. Go to this project. So we can see here is the Margie's Travel Assistant project. And if I go to the chat playground, you can see this is a chat window. Okay. So now if I ask a question, okay, it will give you some general information. Okay, you can see which model I'm using. GPT 3.5 turbo model I'm using, and I'm asking a question. So I want to travel to London. Okay, where can I stay there? So it is a question given by the user, but you can see it's providing different hotels or some accommodation options. Okay, but you can see this is not the answer what I am expecting. My expectation is the Margie's travel assistant has to give an answer saying that, okay, these are the different hotels that we are providing in London and you can go and stay there, right? But you can see this answer is a general answer. The why it is generating a general answer, because this model, that is this GPT model, is not using any domain specific or organization specific data to generate this answer. It is just generating the answer from its pre-trained knowledge. So now my question is, what I have to do if I have to ingest my custom data like this PDF documents I have. From the PDF document, I have to provide the custom data. So for that, here is an option called add your data. Can you see? Add your data option. What I can do, I can go and create a new data source. A data source means it can be a database, a vector database. When I click on this, here we have different options provided. If I already have a AI search service available, I can select this. But if I'm doing from scratch, okay, you can go for this. So I have the PDF files and I want to upload them, convert them into vector, and then do everything from the scratch. So I'll go with this option, the last option, which is upload files, because I have the PDF with me and I want to go and upload them to the cloud storage and then convert them into vector format. So click on this upload files. Now it is asking me to upload a one file or a folder completely. So I can upload the folder completely. So where is my folder? This is my folder, collateral, right? Upload. And you can see this contains different PDF documents. Yes, you can see these are the PDF documents I have. Let me give next. Now we need a database service which can store the vector data inside an index. Okay, so here Azure is providing an AI search service for that. Suppose if you don't have a search service, then you can create a new one. But if you already have an existing one, you can use that one. So if you already have one, you can directly use it. But what I'm going to do is I'll create a new one. So I'll create a new AI search service. So it'll take me to the Azure portal. So here I'm going to create a search service. Let me give the name as Marquis Search Service. And I'm creating the search service in East US location. And it's a pricing tier. I can select as a free tier or maybe basic tier. Because for demo purpose, basic is fine. So let me create it. So I'm creating that database service so that I can convert and store the data inside it. Okay, so now you can see search service is ready, but inside the search service, there is no index created now. You can see inside this, there is no search index. So what I'm going to do, I'm going back to here. And from here, I'm going to select connect to AI search service, which is the one which I created. I think this is the one which I created, right? Marquee search service. So I'll add connection. So here, this is the Marquee search service. And what is a vector index name? So what is the index name I have to use? Okay, I'm going to use Marquee index. And virtual machine, I can select auto select, which means it will automatically use a virtual machine to do the vectorization process. So I'll say next. And when we do the vectorization, I need to specify an open AI service so that it use the embeddings model to convert this text data into the numeric data, right? Because for converting the text data into the vector numeric data, it need a AI service called a embeddings model. So that embeddings model is provided by my open AI service. So this open AI service. Let me say next. Create vector index. See, I'm preparing my data storage. It may take some time, maybe a minute or two. Let's see. So you can see it's now starting. It's allocating the compute in progress. May take some time. I already have another example which is ready. If this takes more time, then I'll show that already configured example. This is step 1 of 3, that is converting this PDF data into the vector format and store here. Once this is ready, then only we can start using it. It's still in progress. Let me refresh and see. Still in progress. Okay, this may take some time so that I can show you some pre-created example. Let me go to the other project where I already have this ready. Okay, so if I go to this, yeah, here you can see the Margis index is ready. Can you see? So this is using an existing index where I have previously created before the session. I have already created because the creation process may take some time. So to avoid that, I have already created this. You can see this is the Margis index. So now I am going to ask the same question what I have asked before. For example, I want to travel to London. What or where can I stay? So this is my question. Let's see what answer it gives. Yes, you can see now it is giving the answer from the PDF document. Say, Margis Travel offers several accommodation options in London, including the Buckingham Hotel, the City Hotel, and the Kensington Hotel, right? So this is the answer provided from the PDF. So if you see the references also given. So the answer is generated by or generated from the London brochure.pdf. So that means when I ask a question, it went to that vector index, and the vector index is generated from the PDF so that it will search for the accommodation options in London and then find the matching answers, and then using that answers it will generate the response. Suppose if I ask another question, say where I can stay in Las Vegas. See, Margis Travel offers different hotel options in Las Vegas. But see, if I go and ask some other city which is not there in this list, like where can I stay in Mumbai? See, the required information is not available in the retrieved data. So when it is going to perform a similarity search inside the vector database, there is no reference about the Mumbai city or the accommodations in Mumbai city. So it returns no matching documents, right? It returns zero matching documents so that when we are presenting the data to AI model will say that, no, I didn't find any matching documents, so I don't know. So that is the answer which is generated here. Okay. So that is what custom copilots. But this is just a playground which is for testing purpose. This is to test how this RAG approach is working, or how this retrieval augmented generation process works, how we can create the search service from the PDF documents or some other documents, and how we can use that to generate the answers. But if I have to consume this from my external application, for example, if I have a Angular application, or maybe a React application, or maybe some other front-end application, I want to go and consume this service. But if I have to consume this, I cannot use this this playground. Playground is a testing environment just to verify whether it is working or not. Then the question is, then how I can go and create a AI assistant in this way? The answer is you can use the prompt flow. Prompt flow is used to create AI assistants using no code, low code solutions. That means you may have to write some code, but very less. Sometimes you don't need to write any code at all. Okay, it depends on what are the features and functionalities you are going to integrate. Okay, So for using the features and functionalities, what I have showed to you, like answering the questions from the search index, there is no code need to be written. There are some pre-created templates available. You can just go and use that template. Okay. So I'll show you how this can be created. But any questions related to the vectorization process or the RAG approach, because here you can see our data can come from different sources. Okay, so connect to the data stores to access external data. Okay, these are some of the roles and permissions, which is not necessary. Okay, any questions on this? If you have any questions, yes, Ashima.
Yeah, I have a question. How to decide on the service pricing tier?
Which service? Because here
The
I'm
Azure
integrate.
service that,
Yes.
yeah,
So
you've
see
taken
here.
as basic one, no?
Yeah, correct,
Earlier.
correct, correct, correct. So here I'm using not only one service. That's why I'm saying it's price is calculated uh, for different services. For example, in this case, if you look at this picture, I'm storing this PDF documents into the storage account. So there is a storage account which store the PDF document, because when I upload the documents, these uploaded files are actually stored into a storage account. So there will be a cost associated with the storage account, but it will be a very minor cost, but it depends on the size of the documents. Okay. But anyway, this this storage account is also consuming some cost. Secondly, there is a search service which I have used. The search service cost is calculated based on the pricing tier that you have selected. So the pricing tier means they have configured, or they have created different pricing tiers for different search service configuration. For example, some search service pricing tiers provide you large storage capacity, the number of indexes you can create, number of replicas you can create. So based on that configurations, the price will change. For example, if I'm buying a 2 CPU with the 8 GB RAM machine, cost will be low. But at the same time, I'm buying a 4 CPU with a 16 GB RAM, cost will be higher. But if I'm buying an 8 core machine with a 32 GB RAM, cost will be again higher. So, but what is your requirement? Suppose if you want to use the laptop only for some Word, Excel, PowerPoint usage, means home use only, then you need a 2 CPU with the 8 GB RAM is enough. But if you want to perform some memory consuming operation, in large scale operations, maybe you are a programmer and you want to handle with some in memory operations, then you may require 4 CPU with a 16 GB RAM. But if you are an AI developer or working on machine learning and you want to use very high amount of data in memory, or you want to use large amount of memory, then you may go for an 8 CPU with a 32 GB RAM. So according to your requirement, you have to choose a pricing plan. So here also, if you go to the search service, yeah, so here scaling is not showing. Otherwise, we have to go to the create. Okay, let me If I create and select I'm just giving some name. And here, if you click, you can
Mm-hmm.
see each pricing tier provides what kind of features. Look at that vector storage quota. If you need only 25 MB for dev and test scenarios, then you can go for a free, which provide you maximum 3 index can be created. Like a Marquis index is 1 index. Similarly, maximum 3 indexes can be created in that search service. And maximum storage capacity is 50 MB. Okay. Number of replicas maximum is 1. And there is no cost. It's a free. So mostly for dev and test scenarios, we can use that. But if you want to do dev and test with some large amount of data, then you can go for the basic tier where you will give a 15 indexes can be created, a 5 GB of vector storage data, 15 GB per partition storage, and there is 3 replicas can be created. And in each replica, there will be 3 partitions. And for standard, if you see the number of indexes, amount of vector storage, amount of total data storage, everything is different. And you can see the price also
Mm-hmm.
increases according to that. So now your
Right.
requirement, what is the amount of data your organization is handling? Suppose if it is below 10 GB or 15 GB, then you can go for the basic because basic is not recommended for production scenarios. Production
Mm-hmm.
scenarios minimum which is required is standard.
Okay.
Okay. But if you are handling very large amount of data, then you can go for large scale options. But you can also see the cost.
Right.
Okay.
And this
So
will be for, we can use it across different projects, right?
yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
One search
Got
service
it.
you can use in multiple projects. That's why
Got
suppose if one search service is providing
it.
50 indexes, maybe in one project we may be using maximum 2 or 3 index. So the remaining
Mm-hmm.
45 index you can use in another project. That's why in the hub
Got it.
level, that's why in the hub level we are able to configure it. And whatever you configure in the hub level, we can share across projects. You can see connected
Okay.
resources. Okay. So these are the
Right.
connected resources. Here, search service is the one which is a shared
Mm-hmm.
resource. So that I can use in multiple projects.
Understood. Thanks.
Okay. Is there any other
I have
questions?
one question.
Yes.
Yeah. Suppose it's a practical scenario. I want to set up a refinery in Gujarat,
Mhm.
and I'm my legal team and my land acquisition team. They have been fighting the court cases and to get that piece of land. And
Mhm.
after they have generated 10,000 documents for the last 10 years, and
Mhm.
now I am ready for that project. So, like this, creating a vector index with so many pages of data, can this be speeded up with putting more compute, like you were trying to create the index? Fine. This is one question. Another question is that since once that model, once this vector index is created, so will that be trained for my responses like AI model? Do I need to train it through asking sample questions so that I can get a good responses or the expected responses? And what about the future documents which are going to come? Will my vector index be updated with them?
Okay. Good question.
Thank you.
So the first one which you have asked the uh, regarding the amount of data that is converted, right? So the embeddings. So here what we use is an embeddings model to perform this operation. Okay,
Right.
suppose here the PDF will be converted into vector data using the embeddings model.
Okay.
So there is an embeddings model will be used. So this embeddings model is capable to handle whatever amount of data because it is not going to convert all the data into one go. For example, if you have a 1,000-page document, it's not going to convert all the 1,000-page document in one go. Instead of that, it is going to use a chunking approach. Chunking approach means if you look at the RAG, let me show you that diagram so then it will be more clear. So
Okay.
suppose if you have these documents, instead of converting the documents into the vector in one go, what it will do, suppose if I'm uploading one PDF document, that PDF is again converted into multiple chunks. It may be equal sized chunks or some different sized chunks. So there are different chunking options available. Like do you want to create equal sized chunk based on the number of tokens, or you want to chunk based on the hierarchy of the document structure? Like
Okay.
each paragraph will be chunked separately. Maybe one paragraph is a big paragraph, one may be small one. So that is depends on the chunking type. Suppose what if you are chunking based on the hierarchy of the documents, suppose each paragraph will be chunked separately. But if you use equal sized chunking, which means maybe one chunk size is 1024 token, okay, or 1024 words. So like that, even
Bytes or whatever.
like this equal based chunks you create, and then each chunk is vectorized separately. So that even if you have maybe a thousands or millions of page documents, they will be converted into chunks and then vectorized. The
Okay.
time taken to the conversion may increase, depends on the size. Okay, suppose if you have just 100 page, maybe it takes 2 minutes to convert. But if at the same time, if there are 1,000 pages, it may take 10 minutes to convert. Okay,
No,
so
if we
that
can
means
put more compute like GPUs, more
hmm,
GPUs or something compute, will it be enhanced the
yes,
speed?
yes. But the demo what I have showed you, there is no option to explicitly specify the compute. Have you seen here? I what I did is I have used the auto select option, but there was an option to uh, select the custom size. Okay, if I go here, select this. So here, can you see the virtual machine type? So here I selected the auto select option, but
Mm-hmm.
they are recommending some configuration options like a 4 CPU with a 28 GB RAM or 4 CPU with
Mm.
32 GB RAM, or
All
you
right, all
can
right.
bring your own options. So these are the available all options. Depends on your cost and availability, and you can select one. Maybe if you select a 8 core with a 64 GB RAM, you can reduce the time required for conversion.
All
Okay,
right.
so
That's
that
good.
depends. Okay, so in
Okay.
my case, what I did is I selected the auto select option. So it randomly picks a low cost machine. So that's why it takes more time. So, but
Okay.
if your amount of data is larger, then you have to go and select a particular type of compute.
All right.
Is that clear?
Yes.
So the next thing which you have asked, suppose if my documents are keep increasing. Okay, so then suppose if
Yes.
today I have 10 documents, maybe after 1 month
Yeah.
it may be 20 documents. Okay, in that
Yeah.
cases, in search, suppose if you are using a search option, a search as a database option, there is an option to schedule the indexer. For example, this is my search service. This is the index that we are creating. And you can see
Mm.
this is vectorized 6 documents. And if
Mm-hmm.
you go inside this, this is a single time vectorization happened. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so that means it converted a single time.
Mm-hmm.
If you see, this is the vector field, and these are the fields that is extracted.
Okay.
Okay, so now there is an option to use an indexer. So what is the benefit of using an indexer is you can schedule this like scheduling option. I have to go to the last option. Like here, schedule option. So maybe I'll. Oh, so here, can you see an once option?
Hmm.
So this once we can change to schedule by day. Suppose every day 6 o'clock, or every week one time, or every
Okay.
month one time. So that way you can schedule this
Okay.
like a backup job. Like every month
Hmm.
month end we have to do that. So similarly we can schedule. So in our
Hmm.
case, our example, it is by default and once option means only one time
Yes.
indexing. But if you
Okay.
set a scheduler, then it will do. Suppose every week you can schedule this. So for 1 week, you will not get that new data. The next week, you will get the updated data.
Right. Right. Suppose I get a daily production report
Then you
of my
can
plant.
schedule it. Then you can schedule it for daily.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But the thing is, number of times the indexer execute, the cost will increase. Okay, because a
That's obvious.
compute cost also there, right? For
Yes.
indexing it.
Okay. Right.
But yes, but if you are okay with the cost, then it's fine.
Yeah. Good. And please answer my last part of the question, like how it will update automatically with after scheduling.
No, indexer will automatically update the index. So that means suppose if my index is currently created with the 10 documents. So
Hmm.
next time when the indexer execute, because I'm planning to execute it like a scheduler. So
Hmm.
indexer is going to fetch the new documents and
Hmm.
and automatically convert them into vector and append it to the existing index. Suppose if my
Okay.
index is currently 1 GB, it may convert the new documents. Maybe it created another 1 GB. So it will append it to the existing data. So it becomes 2 GB. My index become 2 GB. So next
Okay.
week it will become 3 GB. Like that, it will automatically increase. And there is no need for updation in the AI model or AI application. So this is keep updated by the indexer, because here is an indexer. This indexer is going to read these documents and then updating this automatically, right? This is my
Okay.
index. Okay,
So
so that is not
there is
affecting this
a
AI application.
yeah. So like this 11th document, if it hits the first document, something needs to be updated in the first document. So
Hmm.
will the entire rechunking will be done?
No, no, no. This is, you are talking about this chunking process, right?
Yeah. No, I'm saying if on 11th document, if it refers to a date change in the first document, so will that lead to the re-chunking or
No,
sorry,
no, no.
updation of this entire vector index?
No, no. Once it is converted into the vector data, then it will not update the data inside it. But if there is a new document which is referring to some informations in previous documents,
Yeah.
those informations will go into a similar vector field. So you know what is this vectorization structure? So vectorization means it is placing the similar document, means related informations into a same vector for vector plane, so that whenever I am asking about, for example, I can say I'm talking about the salary options in the document one, page one. Okay,
Hmm.
okay, the company's salary payment options are like this. So that is mentioned in the document one, page one. So
Hmm.
maybe after a few weeks, they have updated the salary options. So maybe they have updated the payroll policies. So there is a new document updated, and
Hmm.
that is maybe in the seventh page of
Hmm.
seventh page of the new document. It is
Right.
again talking about some salary and payroll options. So what
Hmm.
happens is whenever it do the indexing, these new documents will be placed in the same similar phase or similar location or nearest
Hmm.
location of the first document data, because both
Good.
are talking about the salary. So the word
Context.
salary,
Hmm.
yeah, because the word salary is
Hmm.
appearing in both the documents. So From the first document and the last document, the information about the salary is vectorized, and then they are placed in the similar area or nearest area. So
Okay,
that
context
next,
specific. Yeah,
yes,
context
yes,
specific.
yes. So that's
Okay.
why when we do a similarity search, it will
Hmm.
go and find the nearest data.
Right.
Okay.
That's great.
So anything related to salary, they are placed in the similar nearest locations. So all
Okay.
related documents will come as a matching document.
Right. Thank you so much. Nicely explained.
So that's the reason we cannot use traditional databases for AI application. We need a vector, because vectorization's benefit is all the semantic matching or similar data will be placed in the nearest locations. For example,
That's great.
if I have two words like children and kid, okay, so the word children and the word kid will be placed in the nearest places. Okay, so if I'm doing a search based on the word kid or the word children, they will be both the words or both the statements will be retrieved because they are placed in the similar locations.
Yeah. It take care of the things automatically based on the
Yes,
context and
yes,
similarity. That's great.
correct. That's why we cannot use the traditional databases for AI applications. Okay.
Okay.
So now
Thank
the
you.
question is, now the question is how I can create a prompt flow. So what is a prompt flow? Let me give you a brief idea about prompt flow. So prompt flow is a low code, no code solution for creating the AI assistants. Suppose if you want to create a simple chat application, you can use a prompt flow to create it. In using prompt flow, you can create the AI application. You can evaluate the quality and accuracy of that application, and you can deploy this as a API so that you can consume it from some other client applications. Okay, so you can initialize, experiment, evaluate, and deploy this. Okay, so the prompt flow almost looks like this. It contains the input section, which is the input variables or input data to the flow. Flow means it's a kind of workflow only. So what are the inputs we are passing to the workflow for starting the execution? That is coming as input. And there are different nodes. Nodes means each of this rectangular box is called a node. And node can be a prompt, or it can be some LLM executions, or it may be a Python code also. So there are some predefined APIs or functionalities available. So you can use that, or you can use the LLM, that means large language models, to generate or process something. But in some cases, we have to do some custom calculations. Maybe I have to convert the data from one format to another format using code. Okay, such cases, we can even use the Python code also. Okay, so that's why it is up to you. By using Python code is optional. If you are able to complete the workflow with the predefined tools, then that is fine. Okay, so you can arrange this node in that particular format, which may contains the prompt tools where you can prepare the prompt. You can use the LLM tool, which can talk to the LLM and generate some results. And you can even use the Python tool, which executes some custom Python script for maybe I have to connect to some external resources using the Python code. Then you can write a Python code for that. And once the flow is executed, it generates a result. That result is coming as the output here. Okay. So it is not necessary that you have to go and create the flow from the scratch. It is possible to do that, but here are some pre-created flow examples provided. You can say it can be a standard flow or chat flow or evaluation flow. So evaluation flow is typically used to evaluate another flow. Okay, I already have a standard flow, but whether that flow is working correctly or not, to evaluate that, I can create another evaluation flow. But here, since it is out of context, I'm not explaining that now. So I'm going to demonstrate a standard flow. So here you can see when I select a standard flow, I have an option to create from scratch, which means the input, the lookup or any Python code or anything, all the tools I have to create manually. But some scenarios, they have already created some flow templates. I can reuse them. For example, this is question answer on your data. Your data means I already have my own data in my search service. I can use my data to generate the question and answers so that instead of creating from scratch, I can go and use this template. So what I do is I will use this clone option. So I can give a name like a Margis travel assistant. So it's already okay. Let it be. If that name is not existing, it will create. If the name already exists, then it will say that this name is already used by another prompt flow. So you can see it is creating. Okay, Davinder, I'll give you time to ask a question. So once this demo is over, I'll take your
Okay.
question.
Okay, please. Okay.
I don't know why it is. Okay, I think it's already exist. Something for refresh. I don't know. The AI Studio has some bugs inside it. It's when we create. Okay, let me redo this. Mm. Manage the identity. Okay, it's some identity related problem. Okay, anyway, I have created with the name Margis Assistant 1, where you can see there is a flow already present. So this flow is very simple. What it is doing, there is an input section. Input section means the user's query is passed to the application. Okay, so there is a user's query is passed that is going as an input. Can you see here input section and output section? So inside the input section, when you click on this, it will automatically come to that. So here there is a question. So question is a variable declared and there is a default value asked, like how to use SDK v2. But if you want, you can make it empty or you can put a default question like say about Margis travel. Okay. There's a default value I have placed. Okay, so this is the default question going to this. So whatever question the user want to ask, you can type here. Okay, and this is the question variable. So that is going as an input. That data is going to the lookup. What is this lookup? Lookup is a tool, prompt tool. What is it going to do? It is used to search inside a search service. Okay, but if you want to configure the lookup service, you have to start a compute session. Okay, I think I have the compute started. Let me check. Okay, let it start. So I have to start the compute session. It may take 1 to 3 minutes to start the compute. After that only I'll be able to fill up the value here. Otherwise it will give some error. Okay. Let's the compute start. So what is this lookup service or lookup tool is doing, here I can select an index. Can you see ML index content, which means where is my index located? My index is located where? Inside the AI search service. That I have to configure here. Then what is the search query? So from the input section, I'm getting a question, right? So from the input section, I'm getting a question which will go as a query. Okay, that means it will go and do a search inside the database or inside the index with this query. So query means whatever question the user passed. And the query type, so what kind of search it has to do? Normal full text search it has to do, or similarity search with the vector search, or hybrid search means full text search with the similarity search. So what kind of search operation we have to do, that the search type we have to do. Top K means how many matching documents we have to return. Suppose if there are 2 or 3 matching documents, how many most matching documents we have to return. So I'm saying 2. 2 most matching documents I want to return. So that is the lookup service is going to do. Okay, still starting. Okay, by the time I'll explain the next one. So here is the next step. So after the lookup, lookup is going to do what? Lookup is going to search inside the vector storage using this query, what I'm passing, and find the matching documents. So how many matching documents? 2 most matching documents will be returned. That will be passed to a Python query syntax, or you can say generate prompt context. Okay, so what it is going to do, it is a tool, that is a Python tool. What it is doing is it creates a prompt. That prompt will contains the data which is coming from the lookup service, that is the matching documents, plus the query that I am passing. Okay, so whatever query we are passing, it has to be going to the LLM. So we can generate the context from the result generated by the lookup, because the lookup is returning the data as a document. So documents means it will have some specific fields, like there is a content field, there is a source field, there is a vector field, so and so. But we don't need all the data. We need only the matching content plus from which file it has returned. So that's the source. So what this Python code is doing, from the search result which is coming, that is from the lookup, whatever is the search result is coming, it takes only the content field plus the source field. Okay, so I'll show you in the search service. If you go to the index, what are the different field it contains? There is a content field. Okay, and this URL, file path, title, content vector, which is the vectorized data. So this URL is the file name. Okay, so what we need is the content as well as the URL. That is the file URL. Okay, so that is what returned by this Python function. So this function is supposed to return the content as well as the source. Okay, once this content and source is returned, we have to combine this with the query, because whenever we are passing this to the AI model, the matching documents will be combined with the query, the actual query, and then send it to the AI model. So that is done here in the prompt variants. So what is the prompt variants? And you can see there are 3 variants we can see. So what is variance means? Suppose if I want to ask the LLM model to generate an answer, I can ask it like a simple, okay, so I'm giving you the context and the question, generate the answer. It's a very simple way of instruction. But second thing is, I can elaborate my prompt and say that, okay, I want to generate the answer based on this content in a particular format. For example, generate the answers to the question provided based on the content. But the answers need to be displayed in a bulleted list format. That means I'm using a different instruction to the LLM model. So like this, I can use different instruction formats, okay, to test which one is giving the more accurate answer. If I simply say generate answer is different, generate answer in a list format is different, generate answer with a paragraph, then give the list of hotels. So there are three instructions I give. Generate answer is the only simple prompt. Generate answer in list format is another prompt. Generate answer that contains the description of the city and the list of hotels in bulleted list format. So which is a detailed instruction. So which one is giving the more accurate and relevant answer? So I have three different prompt options. So that you can configure. So if you need only one prompt, you can delete the other two. But here, different variants. You can see this is a variant. This is the instruction. This is the second one. This is the third one. So there are three variants I have. Okay. So it will try all the three variants. But if you don't need this variant, you can delete this. It's okay. So now I have two variants only, variant 1 and variant 0. Okay, like two variants only. But if I don't need that multiple variants, I can delete this also. So now there is only one variant, which means this is the only prompt. And here is the context, which is the matching documents. And this is the question, which is the original question. So I'm telling the AI model to generate the answers based on this context to this question. So this question will be answered based on this matching documents. Okay, so this is my prompt. Once this prompt structure is ready, this is the prompt structure is ready. We are passing this prompt structure to the LLM. So this is the LLM where you can see I'm passing the prompt to the LLM. That means this LLM is coming from the Open AI, and which model I have to use. GPT-4 you have to use, GPT 3.5 you want to use. I have two models deployed. So I'll try with the GPT 3.5 only. And then I can select output format to be in JSON or output format to be in text. I need the text output only. Okay, that's it. So this is my configuration. So I have configured my flow. I have not done any coding here. I'm saving this flow. And my question is already provided in the input, right? So here. So do you want to ask something else? For example, okay, let's first try with this question. Run this. Oh, sorry. Lookup. I have to configure something. Okay, so compute is started, right? Okay, this is not configured. We skipped this. So what is our index? That index information we have to select here. Yeah, this is AI search index, and this is the Marquee search service. Index name, Marquee's index. Content field is coming from content. Embeddings data is from content vector. Metadata is no optional. Embeddings type is the Azure Open AI's embeddings model. We have to select. And also the query type. So whether I want semantic search or a hybrid search or vector search, what it is. And select vector plus keyword search. Is the lookup options we have to configure. So now let me run this with this input. Say about Margate travel. So this is going to execute. and we will see the result. Yep. So you can see the output at the bottom. So here you will see the output. Say Margis Travel is a world leading travel agency, so and so. So this is the information generated by the prompt flow, right? So now I can test with the different prompts. So I'm going to ask, okay, uh, I am traveling to Dubai. Where can I stay? Now let me run this. Let's see the answer. It's still executing. The variant 0 is running. It's done. And this is the answer. Can you see? Margis Travel offers 3 accommodation options in Dubai, the Creek Hotel, Dera Hotel, and the Lost City Hotel. And these answers are coming from Dubai brochure.pdf and Margis Travel Company info.pdf, right? So that means my prompt flow is working correctly and it is able to answer my questions. So whatever questions I give here, it is able to answer. But now this is just developed. Suppose if I have to evaluate and deploy, I can use this options. Can you see there is a deploy option? So if I want to deploy this as an API, I can click on this. First, let me save it and deploy. So while deploying this, I can specify the deployment endpoint, deployment name, what is a compute I have to use for that. Maybe I'll select this compute and one instance is fine. Okay, I'm not sure whether the compute is available and able to deploy, but let's see. Okay, deployment is in progress. Let's see whether it will succeed or not. So it's failed. I think there is something wrong. The endpoint has not been successfully deployed. It may be the compute type what I have selected may not be supported. But once I deploy this, I can see that endpoint here in the service endpoint section. So here it will show the deployed endpoint, which will give you a URL and an authentication key. So using that URL and authentication key, you can consume it from your client application. For example, if you create a chat UI from Angular or maybe React or some other web framework, you can make a request to that REST API endpoint, authenticating with the key and get the response. So you just need to send the question and into the URL, it will return the answer. So behind the scene, the prompt flow will be working. I don't know why the deployment is failed. There could be some, maybe the compute which is selected may not be supported in that region. And it is also possible to evaluate. Okay, so you can even do the custom evaluation or automated evaluation. So custom evaluation means you can provide the index. So this is these are not the deployments. Okay, so because it's not deployment is not succeeded, it's giving this. Okay, so what you can do is you can provide your questions here. Okay, so if you have uh, a data set which contains the questions and answers, that question column you can map here. Okay, and then you can evaluate whether the uh, answers to that questions are similar to that expected result. So inside your testing data set, you will have a question column as well as a expected answer column. So you will be specifying your question from this data set file and the expected answer from the dataset file. And then it will evaluate whether the generated answer is matching with the expected answer which is given in the data set file. Okay, there is because the deployment is not done, it's not evaluating. So this is how we create the prompt flow. So I have just showed you how easily we can create a prompt flow without writing a single line of code. So you can see I have created a simple assistant without writing a single line of code. So deployment, I'm not able to show you the deployment because there is something wrong with the deployment. Otherwise, I could show you the model, how the model can be consumed from REST APIs or the other applications. So that's it from my side. That's the custom Copilot, that is AI assistant that we have created using the prompt flow. And now, if you have any questions, please unmute yourself and ask.
Can I ask? It's a good,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a good presentation about the last part. This is exactly what we are into right now in my project. So, one thing, Sonu, question is that since can we add a conversation layer to this text output?
Conversation layer. I'm not understanding what you mean by this
Uh, uh,
conversation layer.
I mean to say that like whatever you are interacting with an interface which is text based. So
Yes.
if I want to interact with the natural language, so can we add that layer to this
Yes. Yes.
interface?
So see, suppose if you want to provide a voice input or any other uh, kind of input that is done using the front end application. For example, if how you are creating the chat UI interface. Suppose if your front end development team is capable to design a UI like this, where you can add a microphone support, which and you can talk to that this audio will be captured and converted into text using the speech to text APIs. So that
Okay.
even OpenAI itself is providing the speech to text API, or you can use the Microsoft Cognitive Speech API to convert the audio into text, and that text input can be passed to the API because our model which currently I'm using in this prompt flow is a GPT 3.5 model, which is support only the text input, right?
All right. All right.
But
And okay.
but if I'm using it, there is another model which is which directly support the audio. Okay, like audio real time. This one. If I'm deploying this, I can even use the audio as an input.
Okay. Fine. One more thing, like how much parallel processing we can do it. Suppose I'm putting it as an API, and I'm putting it to the public interface on my website, on my corporate intranet website. So
Mhm.
how many parallel sessions this can handle?
It depends. It depends on the compute that you have selected. So primarily, this is working as a PaaS service, right? You are not going to create any VNet or anything. What you do is you are just selecting the compute size. You saw when I was trying to deploy it, I was selecting the compute size, like a 4 CPU with a 16 GB RAM, something, right?
Yeah.
So that it depends on that compute capacity. It will be able to execute n number of requests. So behind
Okay.
the scene, it will, and also I can even specify the number of instances to deploy. So one instance may be able to handle hundreds of requests at the same time. Okay, so
Okay.
here when
So,
I deploy, so can you see instance count?
uh,
So one instance means one VM. So one VM
all right.
itself may be capable to handle 100 requests or 200 requests. So if you
Okay.
want to handle more number of requests, increase the number of instances. But whatever VM size you select here, according to that, the capacity will change.
Okay. Okay. Right. One last question. This ai.azure.com, in
Hmm.
which you are creating all these projects.
Hmm.
So, how we can get hold of access of this, and what is the fees for this? Trying all this hands-on.
Okay. So first of all, you need a valid Azure subscription, okay, for doing this. First of all,
Okay.
because here, whatever I have used, everything is from the Azure services. Okay, so the models you can even get from the other models. So it's not mandatory that you have to use the OpenAI model, but the other models like Llama you can use, or maybe the Mistral you can use, or you can use the Hugging Face model. Anything can be used, but here Microsoft is recommending the OpenAI because that is more integrated with the other Microsoft services. Okay, and
Okay. Okay.
that is one of the very accurate model. And this, if you want to use this, you have to have a valid Azure subscription, which can be an enterprise subscription associated with your email ID, maybe your organization's email ID.
Yeah. Corporate email ID. Yeah.
Yes. So OpenAI, even the Azure subscription is available even for personal email IDs also. Okay, there is, you can create a free account with a 200, I think $100 or $200 credit for 1 month
Mm-hmm.
trial option is available. But the problem
Okay.
is OpenAI feature is not available in the free subscriptions.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's with the enterprise version.
enterprise only. So you have to have an enterprise account if you want to try any OpenAI features.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
related question: how you have done all this in a Azure Studio? Is it different from the Copilot Studio?
Yes, yes. Copilot Studio is primarily aligned with the Power Platform, and
Okay, Power
that is
Platform.
also
Okay,
used for creating custom Copilot, but that is more like a Power Automate agent or a
workflows. Yeah.
yeah, workflows. But if you want to integrate prompt flow, you want to integrate custom data sources, you want to deploy and use the Gen AI models, then you have to use the AI Studio. So the Copilot Studio Gen AI integration is an optional feature. Okay, there is a Power Virtual Agents you are using by default.
Okay, so the
Okay,
bigger one is this Azure Studio.
yeah, AI
As
Studio,
as
AI Studio is a multi-service option because you can create, evaluate, deploy, fine-tune the models. Anything can be done. Any Gen AI related functionality you can see, even fine-tuning you can do. You can
mm-hmm,
create AI assistants by manual coding. You can
mm-hmm.
use prompt flow and generate with a low code, no code option. You can configure your content safety like a responsible AI with the guardrails and other things you can configure. Tracing
Seems
and
to be
evaluation of models. So that means this is the complete platform. And
very
Copilot
powerful.
Studio, yeah, Copilot Studio is only for creating and using the copilots. Simply,
Okay,
it's a previous name was Power Virtual Agents, right?
okay, right. So, good to go for Azure AI Foundry.
Yeah, AF Foundry is a new name. Previously,
Okay.
I think just 2 weeks before they renamed it. I don't know
Yeah,
why they have.
Satya Nadella in that event he announced that.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes.
Microsoft event. And I should go for this Azure AI Foundry license, and that Copilot will be covered into it, or do I need to purchase a different license?
No, no, no. This tool will give you options to create custom Copilot. Okay,
Okay,
you so
custom
that
Copilot.
by code you can create if you are a developer or using prompt flow with a low code option or no code option. Okay,
Okay,
if you like as I showed you, there are a lot of pre-created templates available. So if you are not interested to code from the scratch, then you can use any pre-created template and just customize it. Okay,
okay.
that's it.
I'll go for Azure AI Foundry. Sonu, what's the cost of having this?
The AI Foundry has no cost. But the services that you consume, like AI search service, I showed you there is a free option, basic option, standard option, right? So depends on what pricing tier you use for the search, then there is a cost. For
Okay,
storage account, suppose how many GB of files you are uploading, that based on
mhm.
the storage, there is a cost. Then there is a
Okay,
compute session you are starting here, right? So you are starting a compute with a one CPU with, sorry, two CPU with the 16 GB RAM. So it depends on what is a compute you are using. Based on that, there is a cost. So it's not a single cost. It depends on what are the services you consume. Accordingly, the cost will be calculated.
okay. That's good. That's good. Thank you, Sonu, for an very interactive session, and it
Okay,
was
thank you.
eye opening.
Thank you.
Right now, I am into all this, so I could understand whatever you has explained.
Okay. Yeah. Anyway, nice.
So will you share this recordings?
I think this is recorded and it will be published in our YouTube channel. So you can subscribe to Synergetics YouTube channel. It will be published in our YouTube channel.
Okay.
Hello, Sonu.
Yes,
Can you share
yes.
Which
the
software you use to draw these squares and all to explain the concept?
This is
no,
one I created my own. There is a library available for that. So I don't remember the library. And this is I created and started locally
Okay.
as a Docker service.
Oh, acha, acha, okay.
This is a custom application I started.
Hand drawer, acha, okay.
This is the
can you
one
share the
which,
link with YouTube?
sorry,
Uh, YouTube link share. Can you share that?
that is, you can search on Synergetics Learning. So that is a YouTube channel that we have. And search for Synergetics.
Yeah. So Sonu, session is over. Can I leave now?
Yes, yes. So session is over. And if you
I
have
have
any
one
other
question.
questions,
Thank you.
Sonu?
yes.
Yeah, I have one question. I guess you already explained with the markets travel, but
Mhm,
again to just to clarify, so I have a hundreds or thousands of PDF documents stored in a repository, which is
mhm,
related to each department in a hospital, like a ENT, dental, pediatrician. So
mhm,
if I'm searching something, regarding the ENT, I should get only related to the ENT.
mhm.
So in this case, do we need to vectorize for each department or how?
No, no, no. You can vectorize all the PDF documents and it will use the similarity search option, which will go and find the matching documents related to your query. There is a semantic matching with your query. Suppose your question is about if tell me about the ENT services available, then it will use the phrase detection option to understand what word you are emphasizing. You are searching for ENT. So then it will go and search inside the vector database wherever the ENT term is mentioned, which of the paragraphs it is mentioned, which of the pages it is mentioned, it will go and find those matching data. Maybe there are in 10 pages it is mentioning, but some pages it is just referring the word ENT, but in some pages it is mentioned very detailed. So that's why there is an option like a top K parameter, like a uh, find the top matching n number of documents. So if you specify, okay, top matching 10 documents, it will find the first matching, second matching, third matching, fourth matching up to 10. But if I want to get only the perfect matching top 3 documents, then you can say, okay, top K value is 3. So it will find the matching documents which is containing the ENT word. Okay, that is having the perfect match. Okay, so second thing which you can do is inside the system message, there is a system message option in the prompt. So where you can give a strict instruction, provide the answers specific to that query only. Ambiguous answers or things need to be avoided. So that kind of instruction you can give to the model. So in the system message, you have to clearly specify if the relevant answer is not found, say, no, I didn't find any relevant answer. Like that, you can give the instructions to the model.
Okay. Thanks
That is,
again.
this is called prompt engineering.
Okay. So this is okay for the department. For example, I'm just keeping all the patient information. Okay, so every patient information will be different, but there are few, the disease might be variant. So in that case, how the system will understand?
See, first of all, in that cases, I don't recommend to use the general vector search option. It is better if you can go and use some kind of tools like a pandas data frame and all. Okay, so using Python code, you can go and explicitly connect to the external databases or data sources, fetch the matching document. Because if you say, I want to get this particular employee's information or particular patient's information, this is like a fetching a particular record from a database, right?
Yes.
So similarity search may not give you the accurate result because similarity search will use the words to find the matching document. For example, if you are saying, okay, find the patient's details with the name, maybe Siddharth. Okay, if you then it will go and search inside that document where is a Siddharth. There may be 100 Siddharth. Or if you are searching for a patient with a maybe diabetic, so there may be 100 patients with a diabetic. But in that cases, what I recommend is use a custom Python query. You saw that in prompt flow, we can even include the Python code, right? So using that
Yes.
Python code, you make a database query to get the corresponding record. So using a select query or something, you can find the exact matching record. Then use that record information as the context data to provide the answers.
Okay.
Because
Got it.
I have tried this in one of my applications. Fetching the data from the database records may not be effective or will not give you the relevant answers.
Uh, Hi, Sonu. So is like I wanted to inquire about the courses that you offer regarding AI. So is there somebody from your this one who can call me?
Yeah, Vivek, are you there?
Yeah. Yes, yes. Chetna, I'll after Sonu Sir is done speaking, I'll just inform you about the AI 102 batch we are currently running. Okay. So just give me a few minutes.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So
Sonu Sir, please go ahead.
anybody else, any questions?
Yeah, same, Girish here. So
Yeah.
regarding the same, the prompt flow which we created, right? We created with a simple question, right? Say about the markets. So
Yes.
the same prompt flow we need to create for each question, or?
No. Prompt flow is created as a general service. Okay, the question which I have hard coded, there is a default question. Okay, so when you consume it from an external application, you will be overriding this question with your own question. So like 1 minute. So after you publish, what you get is a URL. Suppose what you can do, you can use a postman to test it. So I'll show you that. I think there must be some previous examples. Okay, so suppose if the deployment was success, you should get something like this. Okay, yeah, this is one of the previous example I have tested. Can you see? So
Yes.
you will get a URL like this. This is a travel rag application is to inference ml.azure.com/score. So you will get exactly like a You exactly you are like this, and then when you make a post request inside the body, you are supposed to put a question. So tell me about the Mumbai travel options, or tell me about the services offered by Margi. So you can change the question and make a question. The prompt flow will execute and give the result here. Are you getting? So the
Got it.
question which I have hard coded is just as a default question. That's it.
Got it. Got it. But in that case, so for example, I'm building a boat. So on one bolt only one prompt flow is enough, or do we need to create a
Yeah,
multiple?
one prompt flow means one bot.
Okay. Okay. Got it.
So if you are creating for a hospital, then you have to use one prompt flow. If you are creating for some other industry, create another prompt flow, because one prompt flow is representing one bot.
Okay. So for example, like in hospital, we just manage all the department or the patient information as a PDF files. So there will be thousands of PDF files. So in that case, we can use the vectorization, right? That
Yes, yes. So it's not only from the PDF documents. So it is also support the other databases also. You can get the data from SQL databases. You can get the data from Mongo database. You can get the data from Elasticsearch. You can get the data from the log files. There are many data. So PDF is just one example, which is okay. So get the data from various data sources, but whatever it is, it has to be converted into vector. That's a thing. The PDF is one of the easiest example that I showed you.
okay, got it. So I created the Copilot, but the response which I am getting is not accurate. So I'm just trying to use and assure whether it is giving the proper.
That's what I'm saying. So first thing is you have to use prompt engineering to write effective prompts. Okay, so your instruction inside the system message, your instruction to the model needs to clearly define what it has to do. So it has to give the answer like this or like that. All proper instructions must be given. Okay. Second thing is you can use examples inside the chat history. Like, okay, if some question comes like this type of answer has to go. If the question comes like this, then this type of answer has to go. Some examples you can provide. That is called few shot learning, which is also part of prompt engineering. Okay. But prompt engineering can increase the accuracy and relevancy of the answers, but still the similarity search is the one which is going and fetching the data from the vector database, right? So as I mentioned, if it is just a plain text of data like a PDF documents or so on, it is very good to use. But if you are planning to use or planning to get the data from some databases like a SQL database, and you want to fetch the data from a database table, I'm not expecting generative AI model to do that, because generative AI model cannot go and exactly fetch that records, okay, record by record. For that, I recommend is inside the prompt flow, you write a Python script to make a SQL query to fetch the data, convert that into a text data, and pass to the Gen AI model to generate answers based on that. Do not use the vector storage for that.
Okay. Maybe we can use both, right? In case
yeah, you can combine multiple. You can
combine.
combine. Okay. So if the question is related to a patient, you'll have to go and fetch the data from SQL database. If it is a general question, then you can answer from the vector index. That way you can write inside the prompt flow.
Got it. So you mean to say prompt engineering is like the prompt for which you created?
No, prompt engineering is the techniques for improving the accuracy of the response. So by what are the different approaches? What are the different techniques we can use to write an effective prompt, like system message configuration, guardrails, few shot learning, then chain of thought, then queues, then grounded contents, supporting content. There are a lot of parameters. Okay, top P parameters, temperature configuration. Okay, these all collectively called a prompt engineering. So a prompt engineer should know what is a use or what is the impact of configuring a temperature parameter. Okay, so temperature value can be set to 0 or 1 or between that, right? So what will happen if you set it to 0? What will happen if you set it to 1? So you should have a clear idea.
Got it.
So in our AI sessions, we clearly teach what is prompt engineering with the hands-on. So if you're interested, you can join.
Sure, sure. Thanks. It's very helpful.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sonu, one question, Abbas here. So you are demoing this use case along with the vector database, right? How to use text to SQL. Without using the vector database, how can we do the text to SQL? Like if I want to query, database, if I have something on the text, which is, in my data pipeline, I'm ingesting, let's say, some content like the PDF or reading it from the Azure repo or somewhere on my S3 bucket or something. How do I, convert this as a text to SQL, like map it to the, the database queries without using the vector database?
No, vector database is used for configured data. That is, if you have already converted your data into vector storage or vector data, then you use the vector database, and for querying from the vector database, you use a lookup model or lookup tool.
I don't have a predefined queries.
So then you can write a Python script, and here you can write the SQL Alchemy or that kind of libraries to connect to the database and make the SQL query. Once the data is generated, you have to convert your data into the context data. So once your context data is generated, you will be passing that context data here. So this is the context data which is coming from vector database or from a normal database, doesn't matter. Okay, so you have to put the context data here, but the thing is, you are hard coding the context data, or you are reading the context data from the SQL database, or you are reading the data from a vector database. It doesn't matter. So if you are reading from a vector database, you use the lookup. If you are reading from a normal SQL database, then you use a Python query for that, Python syntax for that. So here you can write a
so in the
function.
context, we can use the query.
Yeah. So you execute the SQL query. When the result comes, that result you can use as the context data. Yeah. So the AI model is going to use this context data to answer this question.
Yes.
Okay. So
So
anyway,
one more question. So when we talk about the vector, so do we need to use an actual vector DB like a Pinecore, VV8 or the Facebook?
Anything. So here, since it is a Microsoft platform, they recommend to use the AI search service. But I have used with the MongoDB. I have used with the Fias. Fias is Facebook Artificial Intelligence Similarity Search. Or you can use Chroma, or you can use Pinecone, you can use Milvus. Anything is possible.
Okay. So which will be good?
That's a good question. So AI search is an enterprise grade service, and it's a Microsoft product, and you can assume the quality of the product. The other products like Pinecone and Milvus, all third party, and obviously it's a accuracy. Everything is depends on it's a vector support, like how many vector dimensions it support. So usually 1536 dimensions are supported by the traditional embeddings models. Okay, but when the number of dimensions increase, the accuracy will increase. For example, with the new GPT model, new embeddings model which you use, that is embeddings 3 large, which is having, I think, more than 3000. Yeah, this embeddings 3 small is there, embeddings 3 large is there. So this will support, I think, more than 3000 dimensions, but this will support 1536 dimension. Okay, So when you use an embeddings model to convert the data into a vector, suppose if I'm using embeddings 3 large, it will convert the data into 3000 plus vector dimension vector. And if you are trying to store that in a MongoDB, it will show error because MongoDB support up to 1536 only. So then you can go for Pinecone. Pinecone is one which is support, I think, up to 60,000 or some dimensions. So you have to identify what are the different, what are the features supported by each vector database. So Milvus and Pinecone is one of the top, they are the top vector search services uh, other than Microsoft, what I can say.
Fires?
IaaS is a in-memory vector service. It's just for a in-memory operation only. It's not a Chrome and Fias are vector. This one in memory.
So you prefer to use the AI search is the better option, right?
When you
Rather
use
than
Microsoft products. But
yeah.
if you are using instead of prompt flow and AI Studio, if you are manually coding by Python, you may use LangChain. LangChain is similar to prompt flow. Okay, whatever you do with the prompt flow, you can do use with the LangChain, but it's a manual coding. You have to do complete coding. That time, it is better to use third-party libraries, like third-party products like Milvus or Pinecone and all. But if you are Microsoft, then I recommend Microsoft only because it is easy to integrate. Okay.
Got
So
it.
for example, if you go and add a connection, it will directly give you option for adding the search service like a new connection. Can you see here? AI search is an option here.
Yes.
Okay. But if you want to add a Pinecone, there is no option to say. Even in MongoDB is also recently added, but still in preview only. Okay, so third party, it will be little, you have to manually add the connections, but this will give you built-in integration. That's the benefit.
Got it.
Okay, so
Thank you.
I think that's it from my side. So anyway, it's time extended. So thanks everyone. I think Vivek can give you update about the upcoming courses and all. So anyway,
Yes,
thanks.
yes.
I'm leaving since I have another session plotted. So I'm leaving the
Okay.
session. Thank you everyone for joining the session.
Thank you so much, Sonu sir, for sharing your knowledge with us.
Okay, thank you. Bye. Bye everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Sonu sir.
Yes. Okay. Hi. Thank you to all the attendees for attending the webinar today. Before you guys log off, please don't forget to redeem your badge, your complimentary badge. The procedure for the redemption is in the chat box. And also another important announcement I want to make is about the special course, special training batch we are running for the AI 102. The batch starts on the Jan 4th and it will be a 4-day session. So spread across 2 weekends. So the dates are Jan 4th and 5th and then the 11th and the 12th. We are providing you the training for the batch at just rupees 2000. So anyone who is interested to know the course details and the outline, they can get in touch with me. I've just shared my contact details in the chat box. Yes, that's it from my side as well. Thank you again for attending the webinar, everyone. Thank
Vivek, can you paste the code for redeeming the badge?
Yes, I'll just share the link again. And the procedure to redeem the badge is mentioned in this mentioned in this message as well.